Hello everyone, it's me again. I'm going to go down today and request time to speak at the next commissioners meeting this week. Express my concerns. Um, I have some stuff going on this coming month with my son and stuff, and it's good that this meeting was before next month, towards the end of the month. I want to express about the Clean Water Act and stuff. That that many of the laws on a higher level, that loophole allows them to bypass a lot of the Clean Water Act. And as the senator said during the meeting, that up in Tallahassee, when they put the bill and then went through the process and he withdrew it, he told those school kids that well, there are no laws that protect us. Well, he's right, there are none. But that bill was bad, and that's just my opinion on that. I mean, to me, it just said frack our state. Another friend on Facebook talked about caves and stuff like that, about the seismic testing. I warn on this that this is an awful lot like Flint, and I wrote a piece on that comparing the two. I mean, it's so complicated, you get so in depth with it that I'm not good at that, and I just lose people along the way, in it. But really, that caves and such, this blasting down 100 feet and stuff. This is not what Calhoun County is about. We are environment, community, nature, fishing, our families, stuff like that. And I just, I am all for companies coming here and employing people. Why not solar panels or some kind of clean energy or something? Why does it have to be like the worst thing they ever could put here? Okay? You're only allowed 3 minutes to speak down at the commissioners meeting. They cut it down, I guess, from 4 or 5 minutes or whatever. So I don't have really a whole lot of time to cover on that. But I feel I have to do this for our families at least one more time. If I can't get it covered or talk, I'll put in for the next meeting again and go down and speak again if I have to. I just hope they give me enough time and kind of listen to my concerns, but I mean, companies put up a bond, and the bond is not that much, really, in my opinion. And they kind of self-check themselves. DEP reports that they'll be overseeing it and stuff. Why are they overseeing it? What are they looking for? That's what I'm asking. Are they looking for violations so they can write fines? Because I can't find any laws that really actually protects our water and stuff here. And the area they're doing it is the dead lakes in between Chipola River and stuff. They're going to have to take boats and drop lines and stuff. I mean, what are you going to do with the fluid? Are you going to put it in holding ponds? It's a flood area. Come on. And wells are not allowed in Florida anymore, from what I read from the DEP side, is that disposal wells are outlawed. Only the ones that are being used now are the ones that they can continue using that were permanent back. But they check these wells. They check parts per million and all that stuff. Comparison to Flint, if it works great and everything's good and they don't pollute water and they don't, make a big hole that just opens up and doesn't stop, then kudos to them. I mean, they did good then. But if they don't put any laws to protect us, some ordinances or something on this, and take no action, then I feel that they've let the families of Calhoun County down on this, and that they've opened themselves up to a whole pack of trouble. I mean, you see what's going on in Flint. I mean, they did nothing. They just sat back and let it happen, and then they found out about it, and they still did nothing. Okay, this can happen the same way. If you just sit back and just let them do something like this that is just crazy in my mind, and not say, hey, you can't build next to a school, an ordinance or something like that, or you cannot frack up to somebody's back doorstep, or you can't, something. You have to do something, in my opinion, from what I read and stuff. And they're not doing anything. I mean, this has been since last year. They have had plenty of time. I mean, all these counties, like 30 counties or so, have passed ordinance protecting their people and stuff. I just seen on the Florida channel where the lawyers are arguing and talking with the court system about uh, that majority rules on ordinances and stuff concerning companies, that if if majority rules but they haven't had any studies done or a straw ballot done, then can it be kicked up to a higher decision and stuff? So see, they're even trying to work around the counties that's already banned and stuff. I'm telling you, you have to watch, man. These guys are snakes. I mean, everything that I see going on, the laws and where they're working, building highways and stuff. I don't know. I haven't seen this much work done in years. I don't know about you, but I-75 or whatever going to South Florida, they're trying to connect the lower part of the Keys and stuff to us, and there's a lot of fishy stuff going on this year. I mean, you know, you can call it paranoia or whatever you want, but I think they see dollar signs. But all I see, and for what I read, is that all I see is environmental impacts and us losing what we have in the state of Florida, which is our environment and our water and our tourists. We make a ton of money off tourists. And, I mean, Blountstown and Calhoun County is not tied up in making that money and stuff. So, you know, they have to find something else. My friend in Panama City just went to classes for solar power, installing panels and stuff. He makes good money. He enjoys it. He loves it. And when he leaves somebody's home, they are happy. Happy. You know, I mean, how great is it to sell your power back to the power company and stuff? That you can't beat stuff like that. I mean, those are the kind of ideas. Solar panels that convert electricity from rain. I mean, I've seen they just came out with those. I mean, there's windmill. Ireland is doing wind power on the oceans and stuff. I mean, there's alternative energy sources that we can keep using for years and years and years and never ending, our children and stuff. And fossil fuels are just crazy. I mean, they've moved all the way across the United States and caused earthquakes and just, I seen in Australia they're setting a lake on fire where the gas is coming up through the ground. That's another concern. When you bust into this gas down in the ground, you know, it seeps into buildings, schools, all kinds of things. I mean, I've read some of the scariest stuff I ever read in my life. It's almost like I'm watching something that I just cannot believe and put my hands on. I mean, it's terrifying. If you think this is good for our community, I mean, please read up on it and stuff. I know I run my Facebook into the ground and stuff, but this is the end. I mean, I've been under my rock for many years. I don't bother or mess with anybody, but anybody that knows me knows that I stay out of everybody's business and you know, let people live as they want and stuff, and run the city and the county. And you know, I paid taxes for 40 years for a child I never had. Hey, I'm okay with that. I want good schools in my town. I just had a son that's 3 years old now. Now I'll be benefiting from that. But the thing is, there's things in your community you want to see your community grow and stuff and do good. But this, you don't want this. I'm just telling you that if you want data and information and people say, well, why isn't there like tons of lawsuits and stuff? Well, they're not really breaking the law. I mean, if they can go around the Florida Clean Water Act and stuff, and there's no laws in the state that are holding them, and the studies are shaky, and they really don't have to do studies, really, because that's part of the clean water law, is that they don't have to go into deep depth on studies and stuff. So the only ones that doing the studies are the ones sneaking under fences, and the environmentalists trying to get a study of what's going on in California and these other states and stuff. They don't have to do a study. They're self-checking. They self-check themselves. So, I mean, I hate to sound angry and mean. This is not me, guys. And I just want to post happy thoughts and happy things, but I really feel our community right now is just in real danger. And look, no one's going to fix this for us. The people of Calhoun County are going to have to stand up. And if it's allowed, I mean, and no one does anything, or they want this, then I guess I'm in the same boat you are, and I'll sink with you. But I sure don't want everybody coming back later on and saying they didn't know what was going on and they didn't understand really what this was about, because I'm telling you right now, look it up. I mean, these fracking ponds and stuff, deer drinking out of them. I don't eat a deer after one even sets up here. And half the time, look at the one in the Keys they set up. I mean, down in the Everglades and stuff. They didn't even know the damn thing was there till they flew over it. I mean, and then the centers went, what? They're fracking down there? I didn't know this. So these are sneaky snakes, in my opinion. I mean, if they could set up a whole well and frack down there and no one knows about it, what are they doing here? I really concerned about this, and I've spent so much of the last 4, 5, 6 months looking into this and researching it that it just makes me sick. I mean, I'm so tired of posting bad stuff and news. I'm just afraid that one person might miss a feed and stuff and not get a real good understanding of what's going on. I mean, limit your feeds if you understand, and then limit your feeds and stuff. But really, please look this up and stuff, and please go down to your commissioners during an open meeting and talk with them. Sign up for time to talk and stuff and express your concerns, even if you don't know a whole lot about it, only that it's bad and that it affects maybe deer, animals, or schools, or they frack up to the city and then try to frack into the city. I mean, if you don't know, if you know a little bit and you have concerns, go to the commissioner meeting, sign up. It's part of the Sunshine Law. You can talk. The minutes have been dropped down to 3 minutes allowed. I know it's difficult, but show your respect to them and stuff. I mean, because we really don't know what's going on, but I do know that he's had enough time, and I know counties have passed this very quickly. So I feel that they're just going to allow this to continue on. And look, we all know there's gas in Florida. I feel strong that there's gas in Florida, and they will find it. And once they get a taste of that, I mean, they can frack up to a mile down, and uranium. Sorry, long time since I used these words. Uranium and all this stuff that comes up, that goes in the ponds, that evaporates. I mean, learn all this stuff. I mean, uranium's forever. You can't live in an area that has uranium on the ground or dropping from the sky. They want it to evaporate and break down and go to so many parts million and stuff. I mean, I'm just rambling on about this, but I'm just saying that the danger is real, okay? And our area really needs to look careful at this. We need jobs, we need work. They're hardworking people around here. Everybody is, and I think if you just give them a chance to prove themselves and show what they can do, I really feel strong that they will surprise. These guys go out of town away from their family, work on oil rigs out in the Gulf and stuff. Fracking is not oil rigs. Oil rigs have some regulations and stuff, really. They're overseen, but maybe because they're over the ocean or something like that, I'm not sure. But this here is totally different. You need training, you need suits. I mean, when you start dealing with hazardous materials and stuff, and I've seen reports on guys that have burns that just ship the stuff, chemical burns, and you can imagine working on a rig and stuff. I remind you of the Gulf oil spill. They got greedy and went down way deep, and it blew parts of the rig and stuff out and caused that big oil spill, from my opinion. This is on land, and now we got these big gas leaks in these states and stuff that are leaking for 4 or 5 months, something like that, and they're just letting it leak, and they're working to try to seal it and stuff, but who cares? I mean, who wants that down the road from their home? Anyway, this is long enough, and that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to talk at the commissioners meeting. I don't know how good I'll do and stuff on it, or if they'll even listen to me, but I know come November they will listen, because anybody that's backing this, I have no use for them. And anybody running for commissioner, I live on the highway. So if you want to put your sign out there and you're against fracking, I support you 100%. And if you have ideas for our community to bring work in here and help people that don't involve destroying our deer and our animals and our water and stuff, or even taking the chance on doing this, okay, I support you fully. I mean, I don't know if that matters or not, but that's how I feel on this. I think when election time comes in November, we need to support everybody that protects our environment in the state of Florida and get these get what I believe these corrupt people out of office and get our state back on what it is about and not what it might be. And because you cannot go down this road and turn around and come back and say, oh, well, I think we want the tourists back and our environment back. Because once these guys get in, or companies like this, and start what I believe destroying your environment and stuff, there is no way to grow a 100-year-old tree or a 500-year-old tree, or replace a whole river and stuff. I mean, there's states that in their cities they can't even fish or drink the water or even think about jumping in the water because it's so polluted. Do you want Florida like this? I don't. I don't want this. I mean, there's no place like this. I mean, really, in my opinion. Um, that's just me. I may sound mean and vindictive, but I'm really, really having a bad time with this month. Okay, that's it. Thanks, guys.